Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ISRC, the Porsche Cup Series, Season 2 from Hockenheim. Qualifying has just got underway. We'd like to welcome everybody who is watching the broadcast now, either if you're just about to get out on qualifying or if you're watching just to see some good racing. We're currently following the 27 Motorsports driver, Diego. Oh my god, that's a long name. The number 18 car, as we'll refer to him from now, coming in to just the stadium section at the moment. I think everybody's still on that out lap, so we'll wait a few minutes until they start setting some good laps. But yeah, welcome along. If you'd like to get involved in this series, I'm pretty sure there's a link to our Discord or the International Sim Racing. Oh my god, it'd be really good if I knew the name of the league. We'll get there. But if you go to the link below, you can join the Discord. We've still got some spots open, so you can race in this season next Thursday. So let's have a look at the lap times currently. I think people are starting to set laps. So the number 18 car comes across the line. So he's
now starting his lap. Yes.
Starting his lap. The graphics are weird in that regard. Got you.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Starting. Thank you. Starting the lap on the way down to T2. Let's have a little bit of a watch of. Is he pushing? Oh yeah, look at that. Nice onboard shot at the moment, heading down the Parabolica. I think today we're going to see, hopefully, a lot of action into the hairpin coming up. Should be a good race. Looking at the results, everybody seems to be really quite closely matched. It's going to be a really, really good race. Deep on the brakes. Takes a wide line into the entry. Doesn't really hit the apex, but gets a nice exit out. Right, coming down into the Mercedes Stadium. Car looks a lot more stable compared to last year's version, at least on iRacing. It's the car nicely tucked in, hit the curb, double brakes. Does he hit the apex? He does. So Peter Yonkers has gone quickest, so we're starting to get the laps in now. So looking all good. Just to give you the rundown of the colours, so yellow is the Pro category and the light blue is the AM category. So Aliaz Pristoff has gone fastest with a woman at 38.668. Take it back, Alex Gall's gone 2.5 tenths quicker already. Lap times are starting to drop now. Number 18 car got a little bit too much onto the curb. That would have cost him a little bit too much time. Where does he go across the line? His time is, he's gone to second. Wow, 5 hundredths off P1. That looked quite wide though, so he might have had an off track there. But that looked like a very tidy lap from Diogo. It's on board with Alex Gall now, the current pole position. So 2-lap qualifying here. Should have explained the rules. So we've got 2-lap qualifying. So best of 2 laps, really, much like an iRacing official. You'd expect the second lap to be quicker, just in terms of tyre temps getting up. Look at the brake disc glowing into the Mercedes Stadium there.
Yeah.
So, Peter, the number 66 car, has gone P6 overall in the NAM. That's a very competitive time. And a very good livery too. Look at that orange, very distinctive, and he crosses the line. Does he improve? It does not look like it. He's currently the provisional pole for the AM category.
Let's see, we're still on track right now. Not many people, most have already finished their laps.
Alex Gall was improving, but he's crossed the line to go 3,000 slower. Tom Voss is at the final sector, quickest final sector, and he goes up to P3. Martin Pearson, one of the league organisers, currently out on track improving. In the AM category, he's gone P7 in class. Alfie Lorentzen, the 777 car, is also out and about, but we are currently watching the number 85 car of Mohammed. Oh, I'm not going to pronounce that last name. I do apologise. But on board, he is currently in 15th place, 22nd overall, but 15th in class. Can he improve as he crosses the line? It's a nice exit out of the final corner, and he goes up to
Oh,
P8. That was a nice lap from him. He's only 6 tenths off the leader. So really nicely done.
you can really say that was a banker lap, the first one, like a slow one.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if he made a mistake or something, because that was a huge improve. Let's have a look at the number, the 999 car. Chicane Online Racing, Dennis van der Bleen.
As he exited the last corner, we just saw it. He kind of slid there, and I think that might have been the reason he's not really improved that lap. He really slid there at the end.
So he starts P18 overall. Jumble with Emil Koopmans in the number 33 car. The Apex Misses, that's a good team name. Paint looks really good. Let's have a look and see how the final corner is. That looks good. I'm assuming that that's not an off track. Seems like everybody's taking that wide line. Does he improve? Can you get him ahead of the... Oh, P10, is he? He gets a little bit too wide there.
A smart person just crossed line there, back there on P22 right now in overall class. Does not seem to improve, so he's gonna be down there. But there's also some guys that have not qualified yet. Actually, 5: Jacob Money, Mark Johnson, Mitchell, Maxime, and Frosty. So gonna be interesting to see what they do. This is Mark, not qualifying, either not unable to set the lap or just choose to not do it. It's gonna be an interesting one.
Practicing his starts there. There's going to be quite an interesting to see the starts. I know last year people that had dual clutches got much better starts, so it'll be easy to see who's spent the time or who's even got the technology to be able to have the dual clutches to release onto the bike point. So as we're lining up now, so your pole sitter for the Heat 1 is Alex Gal, followed by thank you very much. So Alex Gal on pole, closely followed by Diego Alberto in the number 18 car. Luke Chiminowski in third, only a tenth off the pole time. Tom Voss in fourth, one of the highest finishers in last year's season. Alias Pritstoff in P5. Albin, that's a long word, the number 911 car in P6. Alfie Lawrenson in P7. Mohammed in P8. David Ward in P9. And our pole sitter, Peter Yonkers, is in P10 overall. Coming down, P13 is that's 232 car. Richard Acock in 26, the 627 car. Ewout van Kruisen, part of Backmarker Racing. I'm totally not biased about them, in P15 overall. Jamie Panda in P16. Sasso Prosen in P17. Dennis van der Bleen in 18. Tom Johnson in P19. Will Money in P20, last year's champion. Stephen Kershaw in P21, Martin Pearson, the league organizer, in P22, Simon Zachary in P23, and John Payne in P24. Frosty St. Clair is in P25 after not qualifying. Michael, the number 4 car, in P26. Jacob Money in 27th. Maxime Capuchin in P28, and Mark Johnson rounding out the field in P29. I do apologize for how many times I've got your names wrong, but as we look to the lights, 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4, 5, and we are underway for the first race of the season. The number 18 car gets a really good start, but the number 94 car an even better start. They're 3 wide into the corner, but they all make it through safely. Alex Gal is in the lead. Luke Chiminowski has made up a few positions as well, and there's absolute carnage in the back. There's 1 car off into the barrier. There's 2, 3. There's a car spinning around. That's a big crash. The 627 car has had a huge hit. That's Ewout van Kruisen from the Backmarker Racing team is also involved. Alfie Lawrenson from ProStar Racing team is involved. People have got damage. They're going everywhere. The 127 car has got huge damage. You can barely keep it in a straight line. That's the Will Money of the AM team.
That's a huge
and there's
crash.
another car off the mount. Tom Johnson of Sapphire Simsport is also off the number 55 car. That's either a spin or he's either spun that by himself or contact. Oh, there's smoke into the hairpin as well. Everybody's getting through. Yep, seems like everybody's made it through. So the runners that were involved in the start crash are now running through. So your leader is still Alex Gal from Luke Chiminowski, Tom Voss in third. David Ward in 4th, and Emil Koopsman rounds out the top 5. They are very close to each other. There's a bit of a gap from David Ward to Tom Voss, but not too bad. So as we follow the leader into Sachs Curve, everybody keeping it clean, apart from the start. That was a pretty awful start.
Yes, it was an interesting start. You said these cars were easy to handle, but apparently not so much. Someone off there again.
911 car. Yeah.
Yes, Albin safely
more-
rejoins, but that's
Do we think that's more contact or just a spin? Always
no.
being pushed by cars
It
behind you.
seemed like a good spin there. I saw some tire marks on there that had the characteristics of a spin, but yeah.
There's another car off as well. I didn't see what number that was.
It's Ruud Scroll from Rogue Racing. It's a lot of spinners. Well, I have tried this car out myself. It's pretty stable under driving, so people getting very eagerly on the gas here.
They are. Oh, we've number 18 and the number 11 car are racing, so that's Mark Johnson. As they go, number 18 car brakes way later into the hairpin. Does he get it stopped in time? Oh, easily. Professional. So that's that was our P2 sitter from 27 Motorsports, number 18 car. That's a real shame for him. He had a really good qualifying and it seemed to have fallen back. It'd be interesting to see what's happened. There's some racing between Martin Pearson, who started 20th and is now 11th. He is racing Aliaz Pritstoff. They go side by side.
A little wheel banging even.
Yeah, friend love tap we'll call it. Martin's now under pressure from the 999 car, but he holds it off into Sachs Curves. It's looking really good for him. I think that's the mantra of staying out of trouble at turn 1 will lead you to positions. So the leader in AM currently is still Peter Yonkers in P6 overall, so he's made a really good start. And surprisingly, Martin Pearson in P2 of the AM class, but under quite a lot of pressure from the 999 car of Dennis van Berlin. Oh, and there's a change for P2 as Luke Chemanowski has dropped down to 3rd. So Tom Voss has overtaken him.
Yeah, and not like a little bit. He has gone and went off. He's already half a second in front of him. It's not like a small gap. Maybe a mistake from Luke?
I think that's a fair shout. And there's some cars in the background also getting in each other's slipstream coming into the hairpin. We'll see if there's a change for positions, but everything looks like the status quo at the moment. I think we can settle down a bit now. That was a pretty hectic start.
Nah, this is sprint racing. You can never settle down, man. Gonna be fun. Just wait.
I like that. So Rogue Racing number 85, he's doing a good job, just settling in as our P2 driver is made it up to 14th overall, so he's coming back after a terrible start. It'd be interesting to see what happened there, because a lot of cars happened, a lot of spins happened even, as Evout gets past Mark Johnson, who is dropping down the field a little bit. So that looks like quite a tight pack. Whew. Yeah, let's settle down and get into the race because it's looking like a good one. So Tom Voss has set the fastest lap of the race last lap, 0.2 quicker than P1 Alex Gall, on board with Dennis van Berlin, the 999 car, looking to overtake Martin Pearson. Gets a good run. Martin's a little bit wide, but Dennis follows, so they're quite equal. Is he going to have a look for the move down the inside? He's pulled out. He's just going to ease off the brakes there. Can Martin hit the apex? He can. He's a little bit wide. That might affect his run onto the straight. Anyway, down the long straight, or the parabolica as it's called, on board with Martin now. You can just see the 999 car getting ever closer in the rearview mirror, I guess. And he sends one down the inside. Can he make it stick? He's alongside, and that's a nice overtake through, but he locked his brakes and goes wide, and he's going to lose one, if not two places there. As you know, he comes back on. He's a bit naughty with his rejoin there, but within the rules, as long as he doesn't exceed his incident limit. And go on board with his teammate, the number 15 car, as they make contact into the Mercedes Stadium. Who was that? That was the 66 car and the 15. That's quite a lot of damage now on the 15 car. And the 66 car's lost 3-4 positions there. That was, from the looks of things, that was a bit of an ambitious move. I wonder what the post-race stewards will think of that.
Yeah, they were really bunched up there, and he just got a little wide, got contact. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, you lose places quickly there.
Sorry to butt in, but our AM leader, Peter Yonkers, has dropped down now to P12 overall. Martin Pearson is now leading. Oh, of course, sorry, Peter was the AM leader. I do apologise. So our AM pole sitter, the one that survived the first corner, is now into the pits. What heartbreak for him. Somehow Martin Pearson is leading the AM class. That's insane.
Slow and steady wins it, apparently.
Apparently. On board with Pearson now. That's, I bet you can't believe what's going on. He must be looking at the relative going, how am I in the lead? He's currently got, what, like a almost 2-second gap to P2 in AM?
Yeah, about that 1.8, 1.9, something like that. To Stephen Kershaw, and Stephen Kershaw actually dropping again as he got overtaken by Diego. And Martin going almost for an overtake here on Jamie is...
That was a bit opportunistic. It's one of those half-hearted tackles that sometimes you'll end up just hurting yourself more. But everybody managed to avoid it, which is good. A little bit of a lock-up from the 5-6-3 car ahead of Jamie Pounder. He's feeling the pressure of Pearson. There could be an overtake here, and he runs onto the curb and wide. So I think Martin will be lining up a move. He doesn't have to. I mean, it helps his championship in the overall, but he's currently ahead in the AM. The gap out front is still about 5/10. Not really coming down. Let's have a look at the last lap time. So Alex Gal last lap was a 38.7. Compared that to Tom's 38.6. So about a 10th. Oh, sorry, that's the best lap times. Looking at the wrong one. So about a 2/10 advantage for Tom last lap. As we ride on board now, Tom is close. Tom is an incredibly quick driver. Last year he struggled a little bit with consistency. He openly admitted that car didn't really suit his driving style, but he's proving his pace here today, up 2 places. So let's have a look and see who's up the most places. Unsurprisingly, it's Martin Pearson up 12 places. David Ward's up 5. ML Koopmans is up 6. Neil Score is also up 6 places. So looking really good. So this is the number 4 car racing the number 13 car. Number 13 car has clearly got damage. That will pay quite a lot. I reckon that would impact you on the straight quite a lot with the rear wing bend like that. So Evat will be down some pace. It's quite an easy overtake for the number 4 car. Who he told me how to pronounce his name in the commentary board as he locks up. Oh, it's your time to shine, the number 4 car, Mikal. I will promise I'll get better at learning your names.
Yeah,
I promise.
Yeah, Mikal just had a good overtake there.
He did. I thought he was gonna lose it, but he's up 2 places in a lap. But Evalts has a little bit look down the inside of Sax curves, but couldn't really do anything about it. Is he up in positions? He's up 12 positions. That's a very, very impressive drive. Martin's now up 13 places, so there's been a bit of a change in this little gaggle. Tom Boss is dropping back a little bit from Alex. So this is the closest battle at the moment, the highest battle up the field. Martin, let's have a look at the lap times. So Martin was 0.07 of a second quicker last lap time, so they're matching each other quite nicely. But Mohammed in the 85 car is bearing down on them quick. I think if I'm not mistaken, he lost a few positions last lap, so he's probably he's going to want to try and get those back as quickly as he can, and he does look like he's got the pace. Let's have a look at his last lap time. Yeah, he did 1 minute 41 last lap, so he did lose around a second. There's Oh, there's some slipstreaming as the number 55 car goes down the inside of the 75 car. Tom Johnson, Sapphire Sim Sport, they both look up. Is he gonna? They're gonna make contact, and he sort of spins the rears up, and he loses the place. That was quite weird.
That was odd, yes.
It's like he forgot that I think he must have had a lot of steering input in from catching the slide there. So the Sasso keeps his position of P18 overall. That's but he's coming back again. Is he going to make an overtake into this corner? Let's have a look. Oh, thank God we didn't see, because that could have been disastrous. As he kicks up a bit of gravel as well. He's really pushing to get past. But a lock-up now, as looks like Mohammed, the number 85 car, is dropping down the field again. So he's had some issues. He's spun at the final corner, or two corners. It's like F1 all over again.
It is. Let's
have a look at the replay. He's lost the rear early, just too much speed on entry. I think Martin Brundle would call that ambition over adhesion. Oh, but that's not necessarily a safe rejoin. He gets off the track, which is good. Drivers were warned in the driver's briefing to ideally not spin the wheels when they spin turn to get facing the right way, due to causing too much smoke and be an issue. So we're looking at this battle for 13th place at the moment. 12th. I do apologise. Stephen's currently in the lead. This battle closely followed by Mikael and Eval in the background, dropping back a little bit, but still in touch if there's any sort of incidents. You have to say that he's the biggest mover of the race so far, along with Martin Pearson. So a really good heat one from him as he goes down the inside of the 247 car, and he makes it look easy. That's how you get a move done there, and he's far enough ahead. Is now Eval, the number 13 car, has a look around outside of Sachs. It'll be ambitious if he can do it. The 247 car just opens the steering up just enough, just to make sure that Eval can't, but he dives to the inside of the final corner. That's such an easy place to make contact. 247 car goes out wide, but they end up staying in the same positions. That could have ended very differently. Good driving from both of them there.
Yeah, and I think Stephen just kind of gave up the position to Michael, because he is fighting Ewald for the AM championship, and Michael is in pro class, so...
Is that a slow car at the moment? The 127 car, so he's back out on track. Of course, he was involved in the crash at the start, so he's clearly repaired his car, and I know, you've got a race in 10-20 minutes time, so track time is good. Having a look now at the number 15 car, Niels Cortins in 6th. Quite a quiet race for him. Got Aliaz right behind him. So is that a little bit of damage? I can't tell if that's a bit of damage on his car or if it's just the way the car looks. No, I think he has got a little bit of damage on. Yeah, or clearly a lot of damage. So that might be impacting his performance a little bit. I'm not quite sure how sensitive this new car is to damage, but it's got to be. You'd think that would be hurting his performance even just a tad. Let's have a look. Aliaz's last lap time. So actually, Niels lost 6/10 last lap to the 101 car from Aliaz Pristov. So he's struggling. I don't know if that was a mistake or if that's his pace. So that's why the gap's come down so dramatically. Out front, Alex Gal ramping away with the race is up to a 1.3 second lead now. Absolutely running away. Still got pressure from behind. Tom's still there, and I'm sure that Alex will be feeling the pressure a bit. He's aware that he's there, but I don't really think he can, unless that Alex makes a big mistake. I think Tom's sort of settling in for second. David Ward in 3rd. Good race from him. Up 6 positions now. Really good race in the number 69 car with the pink livery, which will be easy to remember. So thank you very much, David. Emil Koopmans in P4. 2 seconds back from David. Let's see, he's gained 7 positions. So again, one of the big winners from the opening kerfuffle, as we'll call it, as Aliaz finally gets past Niels Core. I would assume that's down into the chicane, into the hairpin. I do apologise. Seems like a fairly simple move for him. Martin Pearson still pressuring the back of Jamie Pounder. Is he going to think about going to the inside? Oh, he is down the inside. That would be ambitious if he can do it. And he
Oh,
can't. He runs wide. And he's got to be
way
careful on
wide.
the rejoin now, as he's going to get squeezed.
Oh,
There's contact with the number 18 car. And Pearson is round.
oh no. Dangerous
good-
place too.
Yeah, he's done well to reverse. So he's now lost the lead of the... and he's
Oh,
going on.
no.
Is he going to hit the barrier? No, he's just kept it out. It's gone disastrously wrong. In the space of 2 corners, he's gone from leading to down in 16th overall, and he's going to lose another place. Poor guy. Poor Martin.
Oh, that would be for Simon Zierke right on his tail as well. They just lost it, and now he's got to defend podium place as well. That's going to be rough.
And he's going to have really hot rear temps at the moment. They'll be screaming. They'll be through the roof because he, not only did he spin once, but he spun turn to get them back, and then he spun again. So he's going to have to be super careful. A mistake is so easy to make when the tyres are that hot. So Stephen Kershaw now leads the AM class. His team is the Porsche Club Go. He's currently under pressure though from Ewout van Preußen. Not biased. I didn't make the livery. I did, but I think it's the best livery out on the grid. No, I don't. But it's certainly distinctive. But I'm a fan of the Davids.
Ooh.
Anyway, Ewout locks up side by side. He just gets the corner and he takes the lead of Am, but I'm sure that Stephen will be hot on his heels. And I always find it's a little bit easier to follow somebody than to be ahead defending. I always find that I find an extra tenth. Ewout actually proves my point and locks up a little bit, goes wide. Will we see a repeat of what happened to Martin Pearson? No. But that was close. Coming down now to the end of the race, only 2 minutes to go, so we've probably got another 2 laps to go, you'd say. The gap's now up to 2 seconds as Ewout runs wide. Let's have a look on board. Let's see what else is happening. So Martin Pearson and Simon are racing. That was too close for comfort. Turn 12 is not the best place to overtake, it seems, but they all survived.
They all survived.
I think it's been a good race. There's been some action. There's been some really nice clean driving. A little bit, not rustiness, but I think, as to be expected, a little bit of feistiness from the drivers in their first race back.
Yes, and of course some crashing, but that is to be expected with this big of a grid, which is actually 29 cars in total, which is a lot.
It is, and 41 drivers signed up to do the season, which is huge. So, going to have some more great races like this. So let's look at the major battle. So for P1 in overall, 2 second gap. Let's have a look at the number 18 car. Looking really good. Trying to fight with Jamie Pounder, who locks up. He's pressured him into a mistake, and that was easy. Well done. That was a nice move. I bet you that Martin would have been hoping that Jamie would have done that earlier.
Yes.
He'd still be leading.
Putting some pressure on him and then may force him into a mistake, and that didn't happen there.
No, very nicely. So he's got a 5 second gap up to the car ahead. We'll see what his pace is like, but unless something really happens, I guess it's only a lap, so it's not going to happen. So we've actually now finished the race. 20 minutes are up. Where is our leader? So I think the leaders now actually started their last lap. I have to say that Alex hasn't really looked under pressure. He was a little bit slower in the first race. As Stephen Kershaw actually gets past Ewout, as I'm talking about the pro guys, the AM guys are still at it. That's a huge gap from Ewout. He must have made a mistake. So yeah, white flag is now being waved. Niels Kor is actually closing up again to Aliaz in P6, so watch out for any late or last minute moves on the lap. Actually coming down to the hairpin now. He's a little bit far back, but you never know on the last lap. He was Phil just that little bit braver, but he chooses quite wisely just to hang back, pressure him into a mistake later on in the lap. There's a great battle going on for Am as well. I'm sorry to be all over the place, but P16, 17, 18, all within less than a second of each other. Martin Pearson. This is actually for the podium of the AM category. So let's see. Will Simon go for a move? No, he's again staying back. Oh, very well behaved. I'm expecting some more dives. Having said that, Sasso looks super on it on the exit there. I'd be surprised if he didn't have a little bit of a look into the Mercedes stadium. Is he going to have a look on the inside? He is, but only half a look, not really looking out. And as across the line, Alex Gao goes to win round 1 of the ISRPC season. Tom Voss in second, David Ward in third, rounding out the podium. Emil Koopmans in P4, Luke Chimanowski in P5. Alias just finishes ahead of Neil Court in 6th. Diogo Alberto, our P2 man, finishes in 8th. Jamie Panda in P9. Dennis van der Blind rounds out P10. Mikkel, the number 4 car, finishes in P11. Stephen Kershaw comes across the line to win the AM class. Ewout van Kruisen in 2nd. Mark Johnson in 14th. Tom Johnson in 15th. Martin Pearson crosses the line to finish on the podium after his heroic start and then his not so heroic downfall. I am missing some. So Simon Zerka is in P17, Sasso Prosen in P18, Rudscore in 19th, Jacob Money in P20. And they are the last of the runners, and that's a very sorry sight to behold. Has he been driving the whole race like that, or has he just had another crash? He's 2 laps down. I think he deserves a point for effort on that one. Maxim comes across the line to finish P21, and I'm sure he'll be hoping for a better race. And our AM leader, our AM pole sitter, Peter comes to line in P22, and I'm sure, like half the grid, he'll be hoping for a better race. Well, I think that was quite enjoyable.
That was an interesting race. Let's just call it that.
Interesting. If anybody is watching and wants to have some interviews, it'd be lovely to get Alex in and winner 2. I forgot. I'm trying to do many things at once. Yes, thank you very much. So Stephen from AM and Alex from the Pro, if you'd like to jump in for some interviews. No pressure, but it's always nice to hear from you. And if you've had an interesting race, it would be really nice to hear from you. If you were caught up in the turn 1 collision, we'd love to see it. We'd love to hear from you because I'd be quite interested to hear what happened. Moving down the grids, everybody. So who was our finisher? So Maxim was our last finisher. So Mohammed didn't finish. Peter neither. Will Money might have crossed the line. I didn't see, but 6 laps down. Alfie Lawrenson, Albin Kalberg, John Payne, and Richard Aycock, who were all involved in that incident at T1 on the first lap.
I think Peter actually did cross the line, and then Mohammed and Maxime did not, and Will Money did too. So
Wow.
They might have had an incident later in the race too.
Yeah, if you want to come and share your story and enlighten us on what happened, because that looked crazy then, and I'm sure we've missed a lot of action, then come and tell us about it. So that was the first race. We've now got a 10-minute warm-up just to let people, grab a drink if they need to, or even try a different setup. I know that when I was racing last season, this would be my my time just to try some crazy setup ideas that I'd had during the race to see. Hopefully some people filled out some little tidbits about themselves. There's a Google form in the Discord if you want to go and have a look at that, and there's no pressure to, but you can fill out like some information like, have you done a race, like endurance event or anything in real life experience. It just gives us something to talk about. Let's have a look. There's some really interesting responses here. As I see Alex Gao in the broadcasting waiting room. Ah, yes. So anyway, I do apologize. Just trying to figure things out. As you can imagine, it's all pretty new to me as a first-time commentator one of these races. Should we bring Alex in?
Yes, let's bring him in. I'm ready for him.
Let's do that. All right. So here, if I can find the. So here is our overall race winner, Alex. Hello, Alex. Congratulations on your win. Tell us about it.
Hello and thanks. Yeah, that's I'm pretty happy with that. That's the first race with the car, so that's pretty good. Quite. I mean, I had decent pace, of course, but I was starting to get caught by Tom and everything in the draft, and then after I did the mistake, I broke from the draft. So I guess that's how it folded.
Ah, yeah, we didn't see that. I saw that Tom was catching you for a little bit, but you just, you were consistent. Were you feeling pressured by him, or were you just focusing on the road ahead?
I did feel the pressure because I think I've got the bad habit of looking at my relative too much. So I was trying to look at the track instead.
Well, I think you nailed it. I know that I would have spun far sooner than you, but you didn't. Did you happen to see the carnage behind you in 2-1 on the first lap?
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it. I will probably look at the replay after. But
Yeah.
yeah, that one did pretty bad. How many cars crashed in the?
We don't have with so many we don't know. At least I'd say 6, 7. Yeah, it was crazy carnage. But you avoided everything, and yeah, congratulations on your win. That was pretty dominant.
Well, I hope the same thing does not happen in next race. Well, it will be P10, I guess. So yeah, good luck to the other guys also in the bottom row, starting from P10 and P9. So yeah, it's probably not gonna be fun if we all miss the start of this car because nobody knows how to start it, I think.
Ah, that's interesting. One thing I was discussing in commentary is that I know some drivers last year had like the dual clutch paddles on the back of their wheel. Do you have that for your starts?
I do not have that, but I also heard that the car can burn the clutch quite easily, so I'm also not too fussed about trying.
That's a good bit of information. The start seemed even across everybody actually at the start. So are you feeling more comfortable in this car than last season or last year's car?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a lot easier to drive. I mean, maybe not easier. That's not the word, but it's maybe more forgiving slightly. It still have the odd snaps from throttle and everything, but I feel I can kind of push it. And at the end, I was really feeling confident with the car, so I expect to find it as well in the race too. Maybe on other tracks.
Well, good luck for your start. I think you'll need it. I do hope that everybody's calmed down a little bit, as it was the first race. Hopefully, people have learned that maybe, well, you can't win it in turn 1. But yeah, if you stay out of trouble, I think you've got really good pace.
All right, thanks guys. I'm gonna go back to warm up. See you.
All right, good luck in race 2. Alex, that was some really good information about the starts and the clutch. So we'll be watching out for that in race 2. Not many people choosing to go out at the moment.
No, I think everyone is just taking a little break. Of course, hardcore racing just now and then going back out now is it's gonna be brutal. Probably that it is a physical sport, even though people might not call it that. So might get a little pee break in or like a little drink break.
I think that's right. So only 3 cars out on track at the moment. Interestingly, Richard Aycock, who of course didn't finish the last race from our understanding, Will Money as well, that had the incident, and John Payne, who I also think was involved in an incident at one point. So they've lost out on some running. So makes sense just to jump out there and get some more experience under your belt. Right, we can calm down and get ready for race 2. Hopefully less intense than last time. I've had a message from one of the stewarding the race that says that he's looking like he's going to be very busy with the turn 1 tomorrow. I do agree with him, and I do feel bad for him. Even though I think I might be stewarding the race too. Yes, I do feel bad for anybody that's having to steward this. But I think after turn 1, everybody sort of calmed down. I didn't see any other incidents other than, you know, some hard racing.
Some hard racing, yeah, and unlucky. Not really anything that was avoidable, of course. So maybe 1 or 2 incidents. So the stewards should be busy with the turn 1 incident a lot, and then after that, I think they can really calm it down a bit. And I can't remember correctly, but we're doing reverse grid for top 10 finishers, right?
Yeah, reverse grid for the top 10. So, who would be our pole sitter then? Actually, that's probably a really good thing to know. So our pole sitter will be. It doesn't really. Oh, there you go, grid. So Dennis Van Berlin will be our pole sitter for Heat 2, the number 999 car. Jamie Pounder in P2. That sounds about right, doesn't it? Or am I getting that wrong? Actually, have a look and see who's 10. Yeah, Alex Gauss. Yeah, that is the right. Going to be interesting, I think, to see you know, the top 3 coming through the field, whether that they have more pace over the other drivers, or just have just enough pace to stay out ahead, like you know, an F1 a few weeks ago. You know, yeah, there's a difference between having enough pace to win the race outright or just keep the quicker cars behind. So it'll be interesting dynamic to see what happens with that. Let's have a look at the lap times. Not so quickest at the moment is Richard with a 1:39, so about a second off. But warm up is ended as we now build to round 2. So let's have a look at the grid. Dennis Van Berlin in the 999 car is on reverse grid pole. Jamie Pounder in second. Diogo Alberto is in third. He's got a chance at a bit of redemption after the first race. Niels Kort is in P4. Aliaz in P5. Luke Chimanowski is 6th. Emil Koopmans is in P7. David Ward in P8. Tom Voss P9. And our round 1 race winner Alex Gao rounds off the top 10. Mikael is in P11, the number 4 car from Aquila Racing. And Stephen Kershaw starts from pole again in the AM class. Ivar Van Kruisen in P13, same as his number. Unlucky 13 for some. Let's see how it runs for him. Mark Johnson in P14, Tom Johnson in P15, Martin Pearson in P16, Simon Zerka in P17, Sasso Prosen in P18, Rudd Squall in 19th. Jacob Money runs out of the top 20. Maxim again hoping for a better race in P21. Mohammed again in P22. Peter Yonkers in P23. As we can't finish the roundup as we go to the lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5, and we are going to be racing again for round 2. Looks like a poor start from our pole sitter as Jamie Pounder takes the lead. Number 18 car again looking down the inside. There looks like there was a little bit of contact. If not, that was super close. It looks like most people are keeping clean. Yeah. There was I think that was going a little bit wide, but everybody makes it through. The battle for the lead intensifies now as Diogo gets past our pole sitter. Does he? No, it looks like, yeah, the 999 car's actually got a better run onto the straight. But our leader, Jamie Pounder, takes us down to the chicane as there's a little bit of argy-bargy in the background. Everybody trying to get the slipstream. That's quite a lot of moves there from the 69 car. As was the number 15 car hit, or did he just lose under braking? And there's a 3, 4, 5 car collision at the moment. That's an awful place to be for Niels Kort and the number 15 car. Everybody gets past him, but there's absolute carnage up ahead. Oh, there's one car off into the wall. There's another car that looks like the number, I think that's the 103 car that doesn't have any steering. He's pulled off. So Aliaz is off. Frosty Sinclair is out. I think that's all. So Niels Kort, whether he started that, oh, he's got damage on the rear. It looks like he was hit under braking. What has happened at the hairpin? They all made it through 2-1, but it all went wrong. And the Will Money's off again. Our last season AM champion is at a terrible opening round. He's had another spin again. Is that contact? We don't know, but that's not a good start to the season from him. And Peter, our pole sitter from round one is also out. This is disastrous for the leader in Am.
Yeah, it's crazy. Peter crashing out twice too, because in the first race he crashed out too. I think and lost a lot of places, lost his lead, and now again that's fairly bad luck for him.
Looking at the leader, yeah, it's really unfortunate for him. There's a little bit of race going on between Stephen Kershaw and Tom Voss. But out in the lead, Jamie Pounder's got a 5/10 gap. Let's have a look on board with Tom Voss and Stephen Kershaw. They're racing side by side into the hairpin. Let's hope, everybody, that we keep it a little bit cleaner than last lap, because that was quite the mess, it's fair to say. That's down the inside. Goes, oh, and the 85 car, that was a little bit too ambitious. And the number 13 car's hit. Oh, that was a little bit ambitious there from the guy behind. I can't quite remember. And Martin Pearson, a bit of a disastrous race. Luck has changed, but yeah. Oh, and there's a huge accident. The 911 car is flipped, and that's the 627 car also involved. Oh, that's huge. And there's another crash in the background there. There's a car on its roof. There was a one car at, what was that, T10 that's gone wide. We've had some major crashes at the moment. So let's have a look and see. So everybody looks good at the top 7 or so.
Yeah, look at that front of John Payne. That is broken. It's super broken. I think he had some bad contact. That's gonna be rough for him.
That's huge. And they were going. There's a battle for what's this? So this is Alex Gallen third, and David Ward down the inside of the number 33 car, Emil Koopmans. So P3 and 4 in the last race, going at it again. Diogo is falling back again. I wonder if he's had another issue, or if he's just struggling a little bit for pace. Is he going to look down the inside? No, he's not. Sort of status quo at the moment as they head into the Mercedes arena, as we go on board with Ewout van Kooijsen, who has quite a lot of damage to the front of his car. It's not affecting him as he's looking down the inside of Ruud for P10 or P3 in class. Tom Voss, what's happened to him?
I just read he crashed. Yes, let's look at him actually. I have a replay here.
Have a look and see what happened to Tom Voss. So racing with the 247 car, sort of goes wide. So he was the one that got spun out. All right, it's all making sense now. So yes, can we watch that again with the car? Was it the number 80 car or something that went down the inside? Because I want to have a look from his perspective if we've got it. No worries if not.
That is not the correct car. Let me just...
So the 85 car, it's just a little... I call that a little bit ambitious. You can see there was a gap there, but it was always going to close. So that was Mohammed from Rogue Racing. Not necessarily the cleanest of moves. As we go back to live. So Tom Voss now in 13th. Luke Jomlowski, who had a terrible start. He went wide at T1 on the first lap, is now up to 12th. It just shows that you've just got to be in it to win it, as we look at the battle for second place now. Jamie is running away with it a little bit, still just within a second. But there's a battle. Alex Gall, who showed how quick he was in race 1, is now showing how quick he is in race 2. Is he going to have a look down the inside into the Mercedes arena? No, he's not. He's gonna stay behind. There's still 14 minutes to go. You know, still over three quarters of the race to go. You can see the leader in sight. He must be thinking that he can win this race, and I'm thinking he can too. All depends on how easy it is to overtake and how good it is to defend. But Jamie's doing a really good job at the moment. He's doing exactly what he needs to do, is just, while they're fighting, get a gap, stay consistent, and, you know, it's always easier to defend when you're racing wheel to wheel rather than watching your relative and just watching that time come down. So he's doing all he needs to. But you're saying that, I mean, Mohamed's a little bit out of contention now. So Diogo, you'd say up has definitely got a good chance to win. Stephen Kershaw again still in the lead of Am as he sets his fastest lap of the race. Being caught a little bit by Sasso. Oh, as there's looks like some contact between Rudd and Luke Chimanowski. I think Luke was actually going for a move there, so I think there might have been some contact, or maybe a sympathy spin if we're being kind. On our timing screens, it says that Evout has also had a crash. It'd be good to get a replay. Oh, there he is in the background. That car's looking a little bit sorry as he's now under threat from Niels Core, who of course I think was rear-ended into the hairpin. At least that's what I thought happened. And I think Niels is going to make this going to be quite an easy pass for Neil on the brakes. I think Evout's kind of letting him go. No point in racing when he's a pro. Having said that, Evout's trying to get the cut back, but unfortunately doesn't get the position. But very close now. Is Evout gonna go for a move into the arena or just sit behind? He's gonna sit behind as long as he doesn't rear-end him. That was too close for comfort. Especially if you're Neil Score, you'd be thinking, what is this guy doing? But they make it all through. And just to show the Mohamed. Okay, I think Diogo, the number 18 car's got an issue. He's now dropping down. So he's in the section. Is that just after Sachs curve? It is. Oh, that's a shame for him. He was doing really well after his first race's issues. I've got the guy that qualified in P2. Let's have a look and see what happens. So he's racing the number 33 car. So he's going to go for a move into Sachs curve, and they're going to just make contact. That's a shame. The number 33 car gets away fairly cleanly, and unfortunately he's onto the grass, and you can't really do much when you're on there. He's done a good job at rejoining safely. Ooh. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties.
This is Ewad on his crash, and oh, he just got tagged by Tom Foster. He just had a little loft tap from Tom Foster, maybe some net code, and then, oh yeah, he's got spun around. That's too bad. Oh, that's painful to watch.
I think I'm back now. Let me know if I'm out of sync, but I am on board with P11, number 18, after his adventurous trip through the gravel. Brilliant. It's telling me that Alex Gall has had a bit of an incident, but he's still up there in P4, so I wonder if there was just a little bit of a love tap. Stephen Kershaw's lost the lead in Am. We're missing everything. Everything is going on. It's one of those races where we just cannot keep up with the amount of action that's happening. So let's do a little bit of a rundown at the moment. So actually we can go on board with Alex Gall and the 999 car, and we can see what's going to happen. So he's broke quite late. David Ward's come through and just tagged. Oh, that is
really painful.
That is. Again, another opportunistic move at the hairpin. Is Alex Gall has jumped to the pit lane, so he is out. That's huge. Our race winner from round 1 of the ISRPC Championship is out. That's a big disappointment for him. I wonder if he had too much damage from that incident, or if there's been another incident. It's all a little bit crazy at the moment. So let's try and take stock at the moment. So Jamie in the lead at the moment has got a 3-second gap to Dennis. He's in a world of his own. He can just control the pace. Emil Koopmans in P3, of course, was involved in that incident at the hairpin. Is doing well just to keep it in P3. Mohamed up to P4 now. David Ward dropped down to P5, but only 3/10 behind Mohamed. So we'll keep an eye on that. The leader in the AM category is Sasso Prosen in the number 75 car, who is under threat from Tom Voss, but that doesn't impact his championship. It impacts the overall championship, but he's got a nice gap to Stephen Kershaw, who we didn't actually see what happened to him, but he's clearly dropped down. He was in at the start of the race. Luke Chiminowski is also in this battle for P6 overall.
Yeah, and I don't think that Cesar's gonna put any fight up with Tom and Luke. He just wants to win this race for AM, of course. And I think I have a little replay on what Steven and Sasa went through.
That would be helpful to work out. Unfortunately, mine's glitching again, so...
Yeah, Peter just runs really wide into the... just before the stadium section, and then Sasa profits huge from that.
They're side by side. So is that just an overtake?
That was an off track from Steven, and then a little later the actual pass happened. I'm searching it right now. That's right here.
Right, I can see this one. So
into the hairpin, he's just already in front of him.
Too hot. Oh, he's held onto it. I thought the 247 was gonna get past him there. Try and get back into the rhythm of things. Having some technical difficulties, I do apologise, but it's our first broadcast and things aren't going super smooth as we go back live. So these are live pictures now. So Stephen Kershaw at the moment in P8, the 247th car. Pressuring Diogo a little bit, I think. So actually what's happened, because we had Luke and somebody else that
really?
was pressuring...
Why?
Sasso is somebody using the in-game chat, which is
no
against the rules.
overtaking position. What the hell are you doing there?
Okay, I'm just quickly gonna turn that off.
Yeah, we do apologise if you heard anything offensive there. They were warned at the start of the race to not do that. I do apologise. So I have just had a thing warning that's saying that Martin Pearson and Evout have crashed. I don't know if they've crashed together or they've just had two incidents. But we are now down to, let's say, 16 runners now from 29. Martin Pearson's still going. I think there's been a lot of things that we've unfortunately missed, and I do apologise if we've missed your incident or if the person you're supporting, or it's really difficult to watch as Luke Chiminowski gets past Stephen Kershaw, but Luke goes just too deep on the brakes. Stephen retakes the position. Luke's now looking. They're now side by side as they head into the Mercedes arena. Is he going to keep it flat down the inside? He is. That's very brave. So easy to wash out wide there. All he has to do now is hit the apex, which he does, and Luke retakes that position after going wide at the hairpin. That was some nice driving by him.
Yeah,
he kept it.
I think Steven tried to give him the position at the hairpin, but Luke just overcooked it, and Steven said, "Well, then I'm gonna take my place back, and you fight for it this time."
That was some nice driving. So Luke has had an up and a down race, but he's up to P8 after I swear I saw him in 17th place or something crazy like that. So it's definitely one of these races where you need to be in it to win it. I mean, Martin Pearson is currently 4th in his category, and he was last at one point. So let's go on board with let's have a look at John Payne from Only Fools Gaming, the 444 car, currently in P2. Sort of been, I mean, I think he was involved in one of the opening incidents of the race, and you know he's up to P2, so really decent drive from him. As the timings, I think that's just a bit of a... we're going on board with the classes. So he's actually in P3, I do apologise. I missed Stephen there. But P3, still very respectable drive. Doing very well. Martin Pearson in P4. As we go on board with P3 overall, who is currently chasing down P2, Dennis Van Berlin, and David Ward is hot on the heels behind. As we go on board, and we can get a really good sense of the action here and what the drivers are seeing. And is he going to hit the apex? Let's watch on board and see. A little bit wide, but Dennis up ahead is even more wide. Intersects curve now. interested to see the different lines taking. You see that he took an extra downshift there, which sort of pushed the car wide. I know that last year's car, and I'm assuming this year's car, had the issue with like tyre wear and heat especially. We'll ask some of the drivers about that later and see if they if the tyres are going off as much as they did last year. But he's chasing Dennis down within 6/10 through T1, nice and smooth. But Emil's got to watch behind him as well, because he's got David involved too. And if he waits too long for this move, he could end up having a three-way battle, which becomes ever more dangerous and difficult, as we see Niels Core, who's had a very eventful race, currently racing Stephen Kershaw for not for position, is Niels is pro and Stephen is am. I'm just going to keep an eye on the gap to P2, between P3 and P2, and Emil is definitely catching him down. The gap is now down to 0.2. So we've gone board with this fight again. David Ward is looking very, very close behind though, and we have seen that he is not afraid to stick that nose of the car down, as that looks like Dennis is locked up. Even more of a spin. He's back, so he's rejoined, and David Ward has also got past him, so he's gone down to P4 in the space of a corner. That's really unfortunate for him. I think that's another one of the examples of just being forced into a mistake. That's a shame for him, but he's now back in the game. He hasn't lost too much time, which is good for him, and as long as he settles back into the rhythm quick, and he can continue to chase David, and he'll still have the slipstream, so if he can just follow along, everything is not lost for him. But advantage Emil at the moment, but David Ward is hot on the heels too, and it'll be interesting to see the difference with slipstream. So Jamie out ahead, haven't really spoken about him much. He's 4 seconds up in the lead, doing very, very nicely. I think this race has been more crazy than the first race.
Somehow, yes, it has been. It has been more eventful, but more spread out as well. The first race, of course, we had a big crash in the beginning of the race, and then kind of settled down, some small little crashes somewhere. Now it's been chaos all around, and we finally have a minute to breathe, and maybe so do the drivers.
Yeah, David Ward looking for the move. Is he going to send it down the inside? He's broken just a little bit later. He's got the nose in. Will Emil understand that he's there? And he does. He leaves him just enough room. They're now racing side by side. Emil cuts him off as they head into this flat out corner and now into the Mercedes arena. Is David going to go for the inside? He is. It's going to have to be a big lunge on the brakes if he wants to get it slowed down. Will he lock the brakes? No, he won't. Does he get the car slowed down? He does, but around the outside, Emil goes to keep onto the position, and Dennis shoves his nose down the inside. That was beautiful there, and he's up to third again. That's a really nice... Actually, he's not up to third though. He's lost out. They're now side by side. They're going to make contact. David's been pushed off into the gravel, but he's somehow able to hang on, and he's going to brake just that little bit later into the Sachs curves, and I think everything's going to sort itself out. They have. Wow, that was an exciting few corners. Everybody keeps the same places. Oh, there's a little bit of Formula reaction there, as I think Jamie has won the race. That was the final lap. I did not realize that. So across the line, Jamie comes to win after 5.4 seconds. Very impressive. Emil in second after that last lap drama. David Ward in third. Dennis Van Berlin in fourth, only a 10th behind David Ward. He gave it everything though. That was very impressive. Tom Voss finishes fifth. Dogo in sixth, and Sasso comes across to win the AM class. Luke Jamalski in second. Niels Core, good recovery drive from him in eighth. Tom Johnson in ninth. Stephen Kershaw, don't know what happened to him to lose the lead, but 10th is a good recovery drive. John Payne in P3 of his class. P4, Martin Pearson, he had a difficult race. Will Money, I saw him involved in an incident, but to come back P5 is a good recovery drive from him. And we can see Mark Johnson, P10 overall in pro cross the line. And P12 also finishes for Mikkel in the number 4 car. That was a pretty darn crazy race. That was insane. I'm sorry to everybody that we've missed if we've missed your incidents, but we could really not keep up. It's just crazy. So, as you can see here, this is all subject. I just want to point out this is all subject to post-race penalties if the stewards feel that there's been an incident that's predominantly somebody's fault. But the current unofficial results for the feature race are Jamie Pounder has won, Emil in Koopmans in second, David Ward in third, Dennis Van Berlin in fourth, Tom Voss rounding out the top five. Sasso Prosen takes the win in the AM category. Stephen Kershaw in second, John Payne in third, and Martin Pearson just missing out on the podium. Whew, I feel like I need a bit of a breather after that one.
I'll take over here then. Tom Voss has fought back really well, actually. We saw him have that crash. I think he flew for a bit even, and he still managed to go P5. That just shows how dedicated you need to be racing in here, and it shows the craziness of this race too. He had that crash, and he just persevered, and others crashed out, and he fought back. He's of course a very fast driver, so pace is not the problem with him. It's just it's a crazy race, and good for him, and sad for some others, of course.
Definitely, I think that the stewards are going to be having a close look at this race, just to see what's gone wrong and if there's any penalties. It definitely wasn't as clean as we'd like. We've certainly had cleaner Porsche Cup races last season, and I'm sure we're going to have cleaner races this season. But yeah, not disappointing, but unexpected, I think, for how messy the race was.
Yes.
If anybody wants to have a discussion, have my brain's gone. Anybody would like to have
An interview, yes.
Thank you very much for the word. If anybody would like to have an interview, then please come and join. Jamie, we'd love to hear from you. Sasso, definitely. But if you've just had a race, even if you didn't finish, we'd love to hear your stories and what's gone on. It's been very difficult to work out what's all gone wrong. But Mark Johnson was the last one to finish on the lead lap in P15 overall. That's quite... shows the measure of the race, really. Maxime, again, having a difficult race, 2 laps down. And our pole sitter, Peter Yonkers, has unfortunately not had a good race, and we feel very sorry for him. Just a reminder, just for everybody in the league at the moment, just to keep it civil in the chat. I know you all will, but I feel like it deserves it. Yeah, we should remind people. Just be kind to one another. First race back, first race in a new car for a lot of people, so I think people can be forgiven for making a few mistakes as long as it's not intentional. I think, you know. But of course, stewards will look at all the incidents afterwards. But I think as a starting race, that was good.
It promises something for the rest of the season. Let's just hope that people start to understand the car more. Of course, this is the first race. That car has not been released for long enough. Let's just hope that throughout the season, people get more confident on their brakes and don't make the little mistakes that just happened in that second race, especially, and the start in the first race. And maybe because we did see some great racing, maybe we can see some great racing too in the next rounds.
I certainly think that people will. Of course, next round is at the Sebring International. So that's more of a friendlier track, definitely more well known in the iRacing community. Of course, Hockenheim, a lot newer than Sebring, so we hope that people will at least understand the track a little bit more. But there was some really, really good racing. Just waiting for the leaders to come to the broadcast for the interview. It'll be really interesting to talk to them.
Yes, it doesn't seem like they really want to come in here. I think maybe they're like a little bit ashamed of what's happened, maybe?
I'm trying to, there you go. Oh, to anybody, yeah, to the viewers, I hope you enjoyed. It was certainly interesting and exciting. I've certainly learned that next time I need to bring more than one bottle of water because I've drank all of that already. So we've all learned something here. I hope that some of the drivers have learned maybe that you can't win it on that one, but it's hard to, of course, make an assessment without seeing it fully. But we'll give it we'll give it just a few more minutes before we to see if anybody does want to have an interview. Would be a shame to not hear from the race winner. But just a reminder, just to keep it all civil in the chat, please. So thinking back to race 2, so our race 1 winner, Alex Gall, didn't finish, so he would have. I'm just trying to think of the championship implications after round 1. Who was one of the main performers? One of the most consistent drivers.
I would say
Jamie.
maybe Tom Voss.
I think so. He
P2 in the first race and then P5 in the second race. Doing pretty good. I don't know what Jamie finished in the first race.
I think Tom Voss has done a very good job. David Ward as well, also been very consistent. Emil Koopmans as well, very consistent. Jamie will take some good points away from the weekend. You'd have to say that on the opposite side, you know, people like last year's AM champion Will Money have definitely struggled this weekend or this race, as it were. Martin Pearson's had quite a good race, just looking down the grid. I think Alex Gall, tale of two stories really. First race was very dominant, and then we didn't see what happened in the second race for him. But very disappointing that he couldn't achieve what he set out to, because he was looking very quick there. But of course, good news for Jamie as he stormed away with a 5.5 second lead, which is a nice margin.
Yeah, that's a good lead indeed. And Martin actually did really good as well in the AM standings as well. In the fourth and the second, and not sure what he finished in the first race, but it wasn't far back from that. And Alex is very unlucky, yes. And I don't think we're gonna have any interviews today, sadly.
That is a bit of a disappointment. It's always nice to hear from the drivers. But yeah, congratulations to Jamie for the win, for the dominant win really. As soon as he got the lead, he took it. Congratulations to everybody that's finished, and commiserations to everybody that's had a difficult race. But we really hope that you join us for round 2, where I hope that everything will be much better in terms of driving standards. If you are a racer, feel free to. As we're just watching a replay of the carnage at the hairpin there. There's 1, 2, 3. So that's how Martin got the damage. Yeah, stay tuned to the Discord, as there will be steward announcements hopefully tomorrow. Actually, just as we're about to end the commentary, somebody who's joined the broadcast waiting room, Dennis Van Berlin, who finished in P4 in race 2. So let's bring him in and have a chat to him about the race. Welcome, Dennis, to the commentary box. That was quite an eventful race.
Yeah, the first race was pretty much just avoid wreckage. I started like 18th or something, and well, you've seen all the crashes in race 1. That was just avoid spins everywhere. But that put me on pole for race 2, so that was great. I kind of made a shit start, so Jamie instantly got the best of me. But I mean, he's a teammate, so that's fine. And then Alex was just catching, and I mean, me, Alex, Nils, and Jamie were all on Discord just having fun. And well, I mean, I know he's fast. He's much faster than me. So then I tried to let him by, and he got tagged, and then well, we all collided in the hairpin a bit.
We saw that.
Unfortunately, that ended his race and damaged my car a bit. But oh well.
Well, really nice recovery drive to P4.
Yeah, I probably could have held P2 if I didn't lock up in, I don't know Gordon's name around here, but I just locked up and gave the P3 away pretty much, P2 away.
And you made a very audacious move on the last lap there, down the
Oh
inside.
yeah, that was fun. Like he was battling for P2 and he kind of lost out there, so I just tried to like stick it up the inside. And we were side by side for a couple of corners. I think we made slight contact, 0x, but we were both alive, and I think I think we both found that really fun to drive.
Well, I'm really glad that you found it fun. That's the main point of the league. So really glad that you enjoyed it. Your pace was great. Yeah, it's a shame about the contact, but I guess onwards in upwards for Sebring.
For sure. I mean, my pace was alright, but I mean there were definitely much faster guys. It was just being on pole, and I think on lap 1, I'm not sure. I saw it in my mirrors for a brief second. There was a huge pileup of like pretty much from P3 to P8 or something. Like they all pretty much died there. I don't know what happened, but
The hairpin was very messy. We don't quite know what happened because everything happened so quick.
exactly. Like I just heard like Niels was pretty much in the middle of that, and I just heard him say, "Oh my god!" And I look back and I just see carnage. Well, and then I had to drive again, so I didn't look.
I think Niels was tagged, or maybe that was the next lap that he was. Yeah, it was. There was some opportunistic moves. I think we put it in commentary.
Yeah, I agree. Some people need to calm down. Let's hope that it's just race 1 vibes. Everybody's excited and made some excited moves.
I think so. I think everybody's, and it's a new car as well. Everybody's
Exactly.
a little bit unsure.
It's a bit loose on the rear. Like you can tweak it with setup. We in like pretty much 15 minutes before the race, we finally found a setup that's pretty stable. It was just really hard to get one actually. Like spinning was like every lap on practice until like 15 minutes prior to the race.
Very interesting. What's your opinion on this car versus last year's car?
I did drive the Porsche Cup 911, but that was like almost 2 years ago, and back then it was I think even more deadly. They made it safer in the last year, but I never drove that one. So
fair
I
enough.
drove it when it was really deadly on Spa, and then I was like, yeah, never again.
Fair enough. It was it was not fun to drive. And we're also having this debate in commentary around there was somebody that spun and I suppose you won't know, but last year's Porsche Cup was very sensitive to like tire temperatures. Is this car so sensitive? Like if you have like a big slide, are you then feeling it throughout the lap?
It's not very catchable, but I don't think it gets better when they warm up. I think it's just not very catchable in general. So I'm not sure tire temps are that big of a difference. It's just the way the car is. If it goes pretty much.
I think we've seen evidence of that during the race.
Yeah, but
Well,
how was the race for like from the rest of the grid? Like I've only seen Jamie's bumper pretty much.
race 2 was pretty demolition derby-ish. I think there were 15 finishes on the lead lap out of 29. So
yeah, I've seen quite some people disconnect mid race.
Yeah, I think race 1 surprisingly was a lot cleaner.
Yeah, there was some lap 1 incidents, but after that, I think it was pretty clean. But oh well, things like that happen.
But I think as a round 1, it was a good race, and yeah, congratulations. That was a
Yeah, thank you very
blistering
much.
start from you, especially in race 1.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was fun. That's the most important thing.
Did you qualify?
Yeah, I did, but I like my race times were better than my quali times, so I don't know what I did wrong in quali. So I was like P18, I was all the way at the back.
There are some people that didn't qualify, and I couldn't quite remember who. Well, it just shows that you just got to survive turn 1. And,
for sure. If you drive safe, you get at least 10 positions. At least this race.
Well, good advice to know for Sebring. With its dangerous T1.
Oh, for sure. Even with the bumps, I'm pretty sure spinning will be like ridiculous there.
Well, remember your setup tweak from today.
Yeah, I'll try to remember.
And the commentator also gets the setup tweak, so if you could send it to me, that would be helpful.
I'll have to ask the setup maker. That's not
Aww.
me. You have to ask Alex. He made the setup.
Well, I was very complimentary to him during the commentary, so I do hope that I might get something in
Oh,
return
you
for
can
that.
send him a DM. You'll get it then.
Well, congratulations on your races. I don't know if you're on the stream, but we're just seeing a replay of the carnage of this race.
I think I'm looking at stream. I look at slow-mos of my car, I think. Or is that not live?
No, that
there
is
was-
live, yes.
Of my... we didn't have a livery, so I had to make one in 2 seconds.
It's a very good livery for one that was made in 2 seconds.
Thank you very much. Well, gents, have a great night.
You
And
too.
you, congratulations on the P4 and your result in the race 1.
Yeah, and cheers for commentating. Looks pretty cool.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night. That was interesting. So that was our P4 of the feature race. I think everybody's. I don't think anybody else really wants to have an interview. So, unless you want to do anything else, Vincent, you happy to wrap down the commentary of round 1?
I am, as we
Oh, my
see,
lordy.
something we have not seen on stream before.
Whoa, that's a huge accident for Will Money there. We saw that, but everything was happening.
I don't think that was Will. I don't really know what that is, actually. Because I do not have the overview right now.
I mean, I'm just looking at our SDK output, and it's busy, to say the least. So what happened? Oh, so he looks like he was an innocent bystander in this accident. So the 911 car, just trying to get whose name of Albin, has been either spun around or lost it. Oh, and just murdered. Oh, and again, that was one of the instances where you couldn't really do much. I mean, he did everything right. He held the brakes, but 627 car ended up just going into him. That's really unfortunate. And then the number 4 car is up on its roof. Where did he finish? He finished P19. Okay. I thought he finished higher than that.
So, yes, this is an eventful race, and the stewards will definitely have a look at it, and I think they will make some statements this coming week about what happened today.
Yeah.
And I think that is all we have to say about it, because we're not biased, and what happens, happens.
I think Evout's choice of crash test dummy helmet was probably apt for this race, but that's all I'll say.
Yes.
But if you've had a good race, then join us next time for Sebring, which will be interesting. We hope you've enjoyed, and if you haven't had a good race, then just join us again, and it'll be better. We'll be working. I think the stewards and the admins behind the scenes will be working just to maybe tweak the rules a little bit, just to make the racing slightly cleaner.
Yes, and then I think we'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
For the Sebring races, thank you very much for Vincent for controlling the cameras and the overlays. You've done an amazing job in a crazy race.
Yeah, and thank you for commentating it. It was difficult to stand by.
Yeah, it was interesting, but it can only get easier from here.
Yes.
So until next time, thank you very much for watching, and have a great night. And we will see you next week.